Hi, everyone. My name is Mary Barron, and I'm a member of the Jewish Democratic Women's Salon. JDWS endorses candidates who align with our Jewish democratic values. In order for you to get to know some of our endorsed candidates a little bit better, we're going to be shining a spotlight on a few of the candidates who are in tight races. We hope that you'll be inspired after hearing them and that you'll want to support them in their campaigns. So today I have the pleasure of introducing one of my favorite candidates, Dana Barrett, who's running for Fulton County Commission District 3. And if you don't know, the Fulton County Commission District 3 covers South Sandy Springs, Buckhead, and parts of Midtown, North Midtown. JDWS is proud to endorse Dana's campaign. So thanks for being with us, Dana. We really appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you so much, Mary. It's great to be with you.
So Dana, most of us probably don't know much about what the Fulton Commission does. So can you give us just a quick background of what the commission does for us?
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of funny because when I was asked to run for this seat back in March during qualifying week, I didn't really know much about what the county commission does either. I think part of that, by the way, is because I don't think those in power actually want us to know. In particular, our Republican counterparts who have had this long strategy of getting their people in all the way up and down the ballot. And that is how they have sort of taken the power that they have now, where they're stripping away our rights with, Dobbs and Supreme Court and all of the things, right? So I had to quickly do my research on what the county commission does before I could decide whether or not I wanted to run for this seat. And there's a lot that the county does. Fulton County has a $1.25 billion budget. The county commission sets the tax rate and figures out how to spend that money. And there are a couple of key areas that really were critical to me, and I think are critical to most voters, and they probably don't even realize that the county commission is involved. One, of course, is voting. The county funds the voting and runs the voting for over 1 million voters. And right now we have a Republican-leaning commission that is sort of trickling funding to our elections board and setting us up for a state takeover, which is terrible. We really cannot let that happen. That was a critical issue for me. And then the second one, I think a lot of people don't realize, is that the Fulton County Commission funds our district attorney and our courts. That's Bonnie Willis, who a lot of people know. And again, this Republican-leaning commission is trickling funding to her. Then there are lots of other things like public health, senior services. You can go on and on with the list of the things that the county does, but those two big ones for me, equity in our justice system and public safety, along with supporting our elections, were the ones that really prompted me to say yes to run for the seat.
Great, thanks for that. Can you give us a little bit of details about your particular race and why it's so important for us to flip this seat and have you on the commission representing us?
Yeah, thank you for asking that, Mary. I mean, it's been a busy year for sure, leading up to the election. I am running against a two-term Republican incumbent in a heavily Democratic district. So this is a man who has been in politics for 35 years. And in the county commission, he's been there for 2 terms, which is 8 years. And he's never had a Democratic challenger. And the district has gotten more and more Democratic over time. And he is now sort of running, trying to convince people that this is not a partisan race, and that he's nice and he's moderate and he's go ahead and just keep him because he's the incumbent. But the reality is he's a Republican. It is a partisan race. As I just sort of mentioned, the right-leaning commission is trickling funding and not prioritizing the things we as Democrats care about. And he is a part of that. He is an election denier. He's quiet about it, but he is an election denier, make no mistake. And he votes with the Republicans. So it is a critical seat, not only because a Democrat, me in this case, would take the place of a Republican, but because when I win this race, I shift the balance of power on the commission. I keep calling it right-leaning. And that's because our chairman tends to vote with the Republicans, even though he's a Democrat. And when I win this seat, it becomes 4 Democrats on the commission to 2 Republicans. And then our chairman, who is also a Democrat, his choice to vote with the Republicans sometimes won't be effective. And so it's a really, really critical seat in terms of protecting the vote, and in terms of funding our district attorney and all the other things I just mentioned. And make no mistake, my opponent is a Republican.
Thanks for explaining that to us. We really appreciate it. So JDWS is a grassroots, boots on the ground kind of organization. So we always like to end with this question: how can we support you in your race, and how can we learn a little bit more about you?
Well, certainly learning about me is easy. I am an oversharer, and my website is electdanabarrett.com. There's plenty of information there about me and my background, and the race itself. And in terms of grassroots help, I mean, we are putting together a schedule. We've already started to post some things, but we have phone banking, text banking, sign wavings. We need yard signs in as many lawns as we can get them in, and we need help getting them out. We need yard signs at all of the polling locations. So we're, coordinating with some other groups, but also doing some, yard sign ninja-ing ourselves. And, we really just need volunteers. And there is a link on my website for that as well. But yeah, if people can sign up to volunteer, we can use all the help we can get, including this weekend.
Great. Thanks, Dana. I appreciate you taking the time to talk to us.
Thank you so much, Mary, for having me. And thank you to JDWS for supporting my campaign. I've been a member myself of JDWS since 2020, or rather 2019, I think. And I'm proud to be affiliated with you guys, and proud to be supported by you guys.